All right, today we're going to go way beyond what you'd find in a textbook. We're talking about unlocking the kind of English you actually use every single day. We're diving deep into the art of the daily dialogue by breaking down how real conversations flow from the minute you wake up till you go to bed.
You know that feeling, right? You've studied the grammar, you've memorized the vocabulary, but then someone asks you a simple question on the street and your mind just goes blank. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, then trust me, you're in the right place.
So, what's the secret to getting past that feeling? Well, it's not what you think. It's not about cramming more and more words into your brain. Nope. It's about spotting the simple patterns and the rhythm of how people actually talk. And to see it in action, we're going to follow someone through their entire day.
To really get this, we have to become communication detectives. We're not just going to passively listen in. We're going to actively break down these dialogues, piece by piece, and figure out the hidden rules that make them work. We're going to see what's really going on under the surface.
So, where do we start? Well, like most days, our journey begins in the morning. Let's take a look at the kinds of conversations that pop up from the moment that alarm clock rings to the daily commute. And right off the bat, you'll see something interesting. Real, everyday English isn't about reciting these perfect sentences you learned. It's all about interaction, making little requests, and yeah, even a bit of friendly negotiation.
I mean, who hasn't said this, right? We've all been there. This simple little line is the perfect example. It's not a formal debate, it's a quick personal negotiation to get what you want, which in this case is just a little more sleep.
This is a fantastic example of what we can call gentle negotiation. It's that soft, informal language you use with family or close friends. And it works because it's built on a relationship, not on some kind of rigid rule book. You don't need a 3-point argument to hit the snooze button.
And notice this, the same basic skill, just asking for information, changes completely with the situation. Asking a stranger about a bus schedule feels a little different than asking your partner to pass the eggs at the breakfast table, right? The basic goal is the same, but our tone, our words, they shift without us even thinking about it.
Okay, we've survived the morning, now let's head into the workplace. The scenery changes, and believe me, so does our conversational playbook. At work, your words are pretty much doing two jobs at once. On one hand, you gotta be efficient, you have to get things done. But on the other hand, you need to build good, solid relationships with your colleagues. It's a real balancing act.
Here's a phrase you'll hear all the time when you meet a new coworker. Now it sounds just polite, but it's doing some heavy lifting. It's basically an open invitation to work together, and it sets a positive tone right from day one.
And that is what we call building rapport. Think of it like the social glue of the workplace. It's the foundation for any kind of effective teamwork. Without it, things get difficult fast. And simple phrases like the one we just saw are the little bricks you use to build that connection.
This slide is perfect because it shows the code switching that we all do at work. Over on the left, you've got that casual, friendly chat you'd have when grabbing coffee. But on the right, for a meeting or a formal request, the language gets more direct, more structured. It's all about picking the right tool for the job.
Next up, we're stepping out of the office to get some errands done. And this is where our language becomes super practical and really focused on getting a specific task completed.
Okay, I know making a formal phone call can feel super stressful, but here's the good news. They almost always follow a clear, predictable script. You can see it right here. You introduce yourself, you say why you're calling, you deliver the core message, and then you confirm the details. It's a reliable formula you can lean on every single time.
Now, check this one out. This phrase seems so tiny, so simple, but it is incredibly effective. In that dialogue about the grocery list, one person suggests adding potatoes, and the reply is just, "Thanks for that." So what makes this little phrase so useful? Well, it's all about its function. "Thanks for that" is the perfect way to respond to a small, helpful tip. It feels warmer and way more specific than just saying thanks, because that little word "that" points directly to the advice you just got. It shows you were really listening. And now, as the day starts to come to a close, the whole purpose of our language shifts one more time. It becomes less about getting things done and much more about connection. See, this is so much more than just a question. Look at that second part. It must have been a hectic day. That shows you were paying attention. It's an observation, it shows empathy, and it opens the door for a real conversation, not just a one-word answer.
And this brings us to this wonderful social ritual of recounting the day. This isn't just about reporting the facts of what happened. It's how we truly connect with the people we care about. It's how we share our wins and our struggles, strengthen our relationships, and just make sense of our own day. Okay, whew, we have made it through an entire day of conversations. So now, let's pull all these ideas together into a practical little toolkit that you can start using, well, how about tomorrow?
I want you to think of this table as your conversational cheat sheet. It lays it all out. See how the function, like making a request, stays the same, but the words you use are completely different depending on the context? At home, it's can you? At work, it becomes a more formal may I. Getting a feel for that shift is the absolute key to sounding natural.
And that really brings us to the most important point of this whole explainer. Being fluent in English isn't a vocabulary contest. It's about understanding the situation, the purpose of your words, and your relationship with the person you're talking to. It's about being a bit of a conversational chameleon. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question, a little challenge. Think back on all these examples, that gentle negotiation, the report building at work, that formal phone call structure. Which one of these skills are you going to consciously go out and try tomorrow to make your everyday English just a little bit smoother, a little more confident?